Hi, Ben here. I'm from Belgium and back home we call this a football, but some of you insist on calling it a soccer ball. Well, I'm here to tell you why you make that mistake. To do that, we need to look at the history of the game. The sport's origins go back centuries, but England takes credit for the modern version. In 1848, students at Cambridge University wrote the first set of rules for the game we know today, a game in which a player used their foot to kick a ball, hence football. In 1863, the Football Association was founded in London to promote the sport. Others played a version of the sport in which players carried the ball with their hands. This version was popular at the rugby school in Rugby, Warwickshire, England. A group of teams eventually created the Rugby Football Union. So there was association football and rugby football. The game spread to the US, and in 1869 Princeton and Rutgers competed in a game that was a cross between the two. A few years later, a college coach helped turn it into the distinctive American-style football we have today. Back in England, clubs still competed in rugby football and association football. Rugby football was shortened to rugby or rugger. A 1905 letter to the editor in the New York Times explained that it was a fad at Oxford and Cambridge to use "er" at the end of many words. But that trick didn't work as well with association football, so the slang term soccer was born, an abbreviation of sorts from association. And it's what most Americans call association football to this day. So yes, the name soccer was actually invented in the UK. According to a research paper from a University of Michigan professor, Brits actually use both soccer and football to refer to the sports during a chunk of the 20th century. But as soccer grew in the US, Brits moved away from the term, maybe because they saw it as an Americanized name for their sport. So if you're an American and you call this a soccer ball and this a football, you're actually not totally wrong. But may I suggest you call this one that you kick with your foot a football, and maybe this one a hand oval. Just an idea.